AI movies. They're on the way. They're on the way. I'll tell you, they're on the way. Somebody is going to make a full movie out of AI, and it's probably going to be better than half the shit that Hollywood keeps producing. On the news, let's have a look.
Film fans could be celebrating the Interview with the Vampire reunion of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. If only it were real. Outrage growing across Hollywood, studios and unions denouncing this.
I mean, the first one looked really, really good, didn't it? It really did. The sound, the impact of the punches, the actual movement of the fighting choreography, it was fair play. I mean, that was on point. I have seen that clip before, though. I'm not saying they didn't play the initial bit where Brad Pitt's saying Jeffrey Epstein was a good man, and Tom Cruise saying that he was some sort of Russian agent. But yeah, I've seen one with Jackie Chan and Jet Li. That was good. I've seen this one as well where he climbs on the door.
Viral video and other deep fakes created using bite dances.
It's fucking scary good. It is scary good.
AI video generator C-Dance 2.0.
With more on the unfolding controversy and what it means for Hollywood, we are joined by film critic Dan Murrell. Dan, you know, these are some startling images that we're looking at here, and Deadpool writer Rhett Reese saying it's likely over for Hollywood. So what is your reaction? What do you think it could mean for the industry?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's likely over for Hollywood at this point. What I will say is that if this is not regulated, if this is not controlled, and if the people who are supposed to be on top of this aren't on top of this, then this is the doomsday scenario. And everybody knew that this was coming. There's a threshold test, the Will Smith eating spaghetti test. One of the first AI videos I ever saw was several years ago, and it was...
It's amazing. That has definitely become the standard, right? The Will Smith eating spaghetti where it was like, and now it's like the more actual real it looks is the test of how fast AI is coming along. Remember, AI really it's only really been around like GPT for public consumption from 2023. 3 years. It's gone from a weird sort of fever dream AI to Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting on a rooftop and it looking 100% real. Do you know what they should do, right? Critic. Tell Hollywood, right? Tell Hollywood, look at what you could do, right, with a single prompt. So how the hell did Star Trek Academy get made? How? Right? You could do this and have a realistic fight scene that looks pretty good. You could probably actually put AI and get better dialogue than what some Hollywood writers are doing at the minute. Star Trek Academy, Alex Kurtzman's Trek is shite. Absolute shit. I mean, you've got a cadet there who's supposed to be the best of the best eating fucking com badges. You've got a half Klingon, half Jemadar woman. How that even exists, I don't know. And I'm not a misogynist. It's just you had a race of male warriors and somehow you got a female half Klingon there. Then you've got a Klingon who's a conscientious objector who likes watching birds and wearing skirts and in a gay relationship who doesn't like to fight. And his species are dying out, and they think the way of going about this is by making all of them gay. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So bring on AI and get rid of that Hollywood shit, to be honest. I've not watched a decent film, apart from maybe 3 or 4 films since 2016. There's been a few films that have been actual entertaining films. But the rest of it's just walk shit. Netflix is like spilling out tit box after tit box. And all the IPs that you really loved, like Star Trek, Star Wars, fucking Doctor Who to a lesser extent. I'm British, that's a national institution. And that's been fucking killed as soon as Disney got the fingers on it. By generation, yeah, really subtle. We know what you were doing there. Get fucked.
Video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it was comically bad. Well, it's not funny anymore. And if you see that threshold now, it looks pretty convincing. And it even uses Will Smith's voice. So this is serious, and they have to take it seriously.
Improvements seem to be exponential with every iteration. SAG-AFTRA calling this blatant infringement.
SAG can get food.
The Human Artistry Campaign saying the launch of Seedance 2.0 is a, quote, attack.
Is that supposed to be Better Call Saul, or is that Liam Neeson?
On every creator around the world. The million-dollar question, is there any putting the genie back in the bottle?
No. And I don't think it should. Regulation, I understand, right? Using people's likenesses without the express permission, I don't agree with. 100%. I don't agree with it, okay? Using the voice without their permission, I don't agree with it. There's so much fake shit out there. This is going to really compound stuff. No one's going to know what's real and what's fake anymore. They really won't. And I suppose for mainstream media, you've always had that, okay? So maybe there's got to be like regulation around using people's IP, or maybe even using people's likenesses, voice, etc. Okay? I don't think you should be stopping AI movies, full stop. Because I think someone out there could probably create a really good AI movie just using prompts. And it seems like we're there. It seems like we're getting there. Is that a bad thing for the industry, considering all they do is churn out shit after shit with, this whole woke thing? Woke used to be done in a really good way. Lieutenant Uhura, I can't pronounce the name, right? Okay. But she was on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise in the 70s. A black woman on a bridge of the Starship Enterprise. Badass. She's a badass character. Nobody really batted an eyelid, right? Nobody really batted an eyelid. That you've got a Russian guy there, you've got Sulu there, you've got a black woman there. No one really cared. It was like, yes, it was woke and progressive at the time, but it was done in the right way because these were characters that were built and that you could really care about and get on board with. And now you've just got shit being churned out like Lord of the Rings from Amazon, which is absolutely garbage. That's just bastardized some of the characters that you actually loved from the Peter Jackson films. You know what I mean? And now it's like, oh no, we've got to put a village of half-foots in there. And then you look at them, you go, fucking hell. They're from all corners of the world here. What's going on? And then you've got orcs with a crying baby and a guy going, I just want to feed my family. Jesus, wet.
Technologically, no. I mean, you can't uninvent the technology that's been in the process for several years now. So you can't go back and say, well, no one can use this technology anymore. That's not feasible. What has to be done, because this is taking...
That's the only one, but that looks a bit janky. Looks like it's actually generated video. The rest of them look really good.
People's likenesses, professionals' like.
Actually, that looks really good.
Without their permission. So now this is an enforcement problem. You can't uninvent it. Now you have to try to keep people from using it legally.
Wow. Well, negotiations began this week, once again, between SAG-AFTRA and the studios, and AI obviously...
Yeah, go on strike. That's it. Go on strike. Strike act, What is it? Is it the Strike Actors Guild? Is that what SAG stands for? They're always on strike.
Huge driver of the massive 2023 actor strike as these tools advance further. So do you think that we're looking down the barrel of yet another shutdown this summer?
I don't think so. The disagreement last time with AI and the writers and the actors was around movie studios here using AI for their applications. This emerging AI technology is perhaps a bigger threat to the movie studios than the actors themselves. And so the studio...
Imagine, you could really do really good content, create a really good film for probably the fraction of the cost of what it would take to make like a Marvel film. I mean, one of the good ones, not Marvel's, which, again, isn't it a good thing? And I'm not talking about slop, like chucking out hundreds of films of AI slop. I'm talking about giving people the options again to have the content that they want. Make content for the actual audience. Star Wars, where it's people with light swords fighting each other using the Force. That was predominantly tailored to men. But there, let's make the Force female, because that really worked. And then you got things like The Acolyte, which was probably written with AI. That's how fucking useless that is. And Star Trek Academy, I'll come back to it, because that's a blatant example of where you got all these writers in like the back room going, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do an episode where we're going to call Solving the Mystery of Benjamin Sisko, without actually watching any of the fucking DS9 episodes. Oh.
Studios, I think, are going to be even more motivated. I think we're going to see the actors, writers, directors, and studios in lockstep against this particular technology. I think I read that Disney has already filed a lawsuit against this new company today, and I think we're going to see a lot more coming.
You know, and we're...
Oh, Disney. Oh, come and save us, Disney. Oh, Disney. Oh, Disney, my Disney. Okay, Disney. Anything to get their hands on.
Seeing big names in these videos, Bryan Cranston, Brad Pitt, Kate Winslet, Tom Cruise, as we just showed. What role do you think they play in fighting back?
They have to lawyer up. They can't wait for the studios to do this. I think, if you're an actor, again, this is an existential threat. And also, you don't want people just making you do whatever they can type into a computer program.
I agree that lawyering up is in to say, look, I don't want my likeness used, right? Without me giving express permission, okay? And monetizing, maybe pay someone and say, look, we're creating an AI film. We'd love to use your likeness. We're willing to pay you we're willing to pay you for that. Give people the choice, okay? You can't just turn around and go, I'm making a video of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and monetize it. Because at the end of the day, you need to be able to get express permissions. But that's as far as it could go. You can't turn around and go, but we're going to regulate AI and not allowed to make any movies whatsoever with AI. Absolutely not. It's just another way of the shit Writers Guild try to maintain the clutch on something that's been failing. Cinemas are going to be shutting down left, right, centre. Nobody wants to go to the cinema anymore. One, there's not enough decent content out there. It's all shit. Two, it's overpriced. Like, take a family to the pictures. You pay 50, 60 quid by the time you've bought tickets, and then you've ended up paying for like popcorn and drinks and stuff. So why? And then three, give it 2 weeks, and it'll probably be on a streaming platform at home anyway.
You have to control your likeness. You have to control your image. And so I think these people that are showing up, the Bryan Cranston and Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, they have to engage their legal representation, and they have to go over the people that are posting these videos online. It's going to be dirty. It's a down and dirty business. And there are going to be a lot of unhappy people about it, because I know a lot of people think this is cool, but this is also an existential threat, and they're going to have to get involved.
It is cool, and it is a threat, and it should be managed properly. But it shouldn't be silenced, and it shouldn't be blasted into oblivion just to protect the cushy jobs that people have got in SAG, or these actors who want to get paid 20 million quid for a film, or these bloated studio executives that want to churn out shit after shit so that they can try to make billions. Those days are coming to an end, I'm afraid. I'm afraid you got to get on board with it.
All right, Dan, if we could just pivot quickly here to another topic. Well, this week, the Academy confirmed they will no longer host screenings of Oscar-nominated films to members on the big screen. So we do want to get your reaction, especially as so much has been made about saving the theatrical experience.
I was sad to hear this as well. I think that Academy members should be able to see these movies as many of these filmmakers meant them to be seen. But if you read the Academy statement, the reasoning behind this that they stated was that these post-nomination screenings were averaging 5 people in attendance. And so I think there's a lot of heat being thrown at the Academy. I think that there should also be some attention paid to the Academy members, because many of them are also choosing, apparently, to watch these movies at home and not in theaters. I wish there was a middle ground here, but with the expense that these screenings pose to the Academy, if there's nobody showing up, honestly, as sad as it is, I understand why they would stop doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's too much. It's too much money. people could just have the home experience now. If you've got like a really big telly, like a 55, 60-inch telly with a decent surround system, and then you've got quiet room with you, your other half, or your friends, whoever it is, just you on your own sometimes, and you got nobody making noise. You don't have to get in there. You don't have to watch 15 adverts before the film. You can pause and go for a slash whenever you need one. And you've got your own food, you got your own drink. Isn't that the better experience? Now, I would have loved to have gone and watched Dune 1 and 2 on the IMAX, but I would have thought, I want to watch this film because I'm a massive Dune fan. Even the 1980s version, David Lynch version, I'm a massive fan. Absolute massive. But, again, it would have been quite a lot of money. It would have been, is somebody in there going to fucking ruin it for me? Unfortunately, that's the experience. And I think people are just realising, what's the point of paying over conflated prices now when you can just stay at home and have the same experience?
All right, before we split, Dan, can't have you on without talking box office. Wuthering Heights opening this week and expected to take in $40 million over the holiday. But almost 2 months into the year, how are things looking in your view? Are we on the road to recovery?
Well, we're certainly having a better 2026 than we were 2025 thus far. I think that 4 out of the 6 weekends so far this year have been above where we were last year, sometimes 10% or more. And I think we're heading toward another good weekend this year. 2025, there was a lot of recovery that was hoped for that we didn't see, but we're off to a pretty good start this year.
Oh,
All you got to do, you know what the secret ingredient is? Don't put identity or any politics or identity politics or political politics, same fucking thing. Don't put any politics or the message or anything in your entertainment. Just say, we want to make something that's entertaining that people would want to watch. That's it. That's it. Go back to anything post 2010, right? Probably 2012, 2013, right? Okay. Go back from there all the way back. 80s, 90s, 90s. And just look at that, right? 70s, 60s, depending on who old you are. What did they do really well? Why was the Lord of the Rings, and people might disagree watching this, going, fucking, I don't like Lord of the Rings, whatever it is, right? For me, Lord of the Rings is probably the greatest trilogy of all time. The 3 greatest movies of all time. All 3 stand on their own, right? But as a trilogy, best movies of all time, including Star Wars, the original 3 movies, right? Episodes 4, 5, and 6. For me, the reason why that is because it was a great story that tried to keep faithful to the source material, and it was aimed at predominantly men, and I'm a man, right? It was 9 guys going out there and try to basically destroy the enemy by making sure that that ring got from A to B. Okay, that's it. People said, oh, look at the only interaction. The interaction of 2 females in the entire series, it was a woman just comforting a child for about 2 seconds. But nobody cared. Eowyn was like one of the best, badass characters. Female. She knew how to be strong when she needed to be strong. She knew how to be feminine when she needed to be feminine. Just go back and start making decent content that people want to watch. Just stop shoving your shit messages down people's throats.
good. I'm looking forward to Wuthering Heights. So
Yeah.
I hope it, lives up to all the hype out there.
Yeah.
Dan, we really want to thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Dan.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, this was probably a 2-minute clip and you had 10 minutes of me ranting, but it's just... I struggle. But me and my other half sit down, right, and we both work, like, quite a lot. It's like, I work Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way to 6 sometimes. Sometimes I crack my laptop open. I'll probably end up doing that today, Sunday, okay, for work. And my other half works in the evenings up until 10 o'clock. And sometimes you just want to find a decent film to sit down and go, we want to just watch a film and enjoy it. And you look at it, and you just, I don't know what it is, but I struggle. I actually struggle trying to find like decent films that you'd want to sit down and watch. Or decent series that you want to sit down and watch. And don't get me wrong, they're out there. There are decent films and decent series out there. But if you go back to the 80s and 90s and you start looking at like all the films that you can end up watching, or the noughties, you got a hell of a lot more. You go, yeah, that was a good film. That was a good film. That was a good film. Really good. Really good. You got a massive catalogue of films in those 3 decades. And I only choose those 3 decades because I was born in the 80s. But the 70s had some fantastic films. Star Wars actually started in the 70s. You know, The French Connection, all these films that were fantastic. We just need to go back to making films and try to actually make movies and series for the actual audience that it supposedly targets. Star Trek Academy, and I'll use it as an example probably till the day I die. I love Star Trek. I've seen all the Star Trek. The original series, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, you know, I watched Star Trek Enterprise with Scott Bakula. I actually thought it was a really good series. Last episode, they just did it dirty a little bit. I think they were rushing to sort of close the loop because they knew they were getting cancelled. All of the films, every single one of the films, including the new ones, which were okay. Discovery, I thought the first series of Discovery was okay. It wasn't great, it was okay. And then it all went really fucking downhill from there. A crying Kelpian, a crying child caused a burn. Oh, God sake, save us. And then you got Star Trek Academy, and it just feels like everybody is thick as 2 short fucking planks. And this is supposed to be the best of the best. You got the bastardization of the Klingon Empire. You've got species in there that shouldn't even exist anymore. You've got Dax from Deep Space Nine. She's 1,200 years old. They only live about 800 years. Yet somehow she's in this. And that's just because the writer of that episode from Lower Decks wanted to put herself in the actual episode called Solving the Mystery of Bloody Benjamin Sisko or something shit like that. But they didn't solve anything. All they did is turn it into an episode of fucking, I don't know, Beverly Hills 90210 for kids, and didn't do anything for solving the mystery of Benjamin Sisko, apart from saying that he never returned home, like it's the end of fucking Quantum Leap. Right, I'm going now. I'll just rant for an hour. Okay, you take care. Hopefully you get to watch something decent. See you on the next one. Cheers.